Stop. Whatever you're doing right now, pause for the next 60 seconds. Because what I'm about to share could be the difference between catching this cancer early and finding out far too late. I'm a doctor, and in over 20 years of practicing medicine, I've watched one disease destroy more families than almost any other I've ever treated. It kills 9 out of every 10 people it touches. And the worst part? Most patients don't know they have it until it's already spread. I'm talking about pancreatic cancer, the silent killer, the cancer that hides, the one that whispers warnings most doctors miss and most patients ignore. But here's what they don't tell you. Pancreatic cancer is not silent. It speaks. It sends signals. Tiny, strange, easy to dismiss signals that show up months, sometimes years, before a single scan picks anything up. And tonight, I'm going to reveal the 5 silent signs your body gives you when your pancreas is in serious trouble. Signs that almost every patient I've treated had and missed. I'll save the most shocking one for last, because sign number 1 is something millions of people experience every single year. Their doctors brush it off. They brush it off. And by the time the truth comes out, it's stage 4. Stay with me, because if you've felt even one of these symptoms in the last 6 months, you need to hear this. Let me tell you about a patient. We'll call him Mark, 54 years old, healthy, active, no family history of cancer. He came into my clinic complaining of a dull ache in his middle back, just an annoying low-level pain. He thought he'd pulled a muscle at the gym. His regular doctor gave him ibuprofen. A chiropractor adjusted his spine. A massage therapist worked on the knots. Nothing helped. 6 months later, Mark walked into my office yellow. Skin yellow, eyes yellow. He'd lost 22 pounds without even trying. And when we ran the scan, the tumor on his pancreas was already the size of a golf ball. We caught it too late. I tell you Mark's story not to scare you, but to warn you, because Mark had every single one of the 5 signs I'm about to share. He just didn't know what they meant. Now here's why this cancer is so deadly. Your pancreas sits deep inside your abdomen, tucked behind your stomach. It's hidden, protected, which means tumors can grow there for months, sometimes years, without causing the kind of pain most other cancers do. By the time you feel something obvious, it's often already spread to your liver, your lungs, or your bones. That's why early detection is everything. Survival rates jump from under 10% to over 80% when this cancer is caught in stage 1. 80%. So you need to know what your body is trying to tell you. You need to recognize the whispers before they become screams. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through all 5 silent signs. We'll start with sign number 5, the one most people confuse with something completely harmless. Then we'll climb sign 4, sign 3, sign 2, and finally, sign number 1, the shocking one, the one I wish Mark had known about. The sign that, believe it or not, has nothing to do with pain, nothing to do with the color of your skin, and nothing to do with weight loss. It's a symptom you've probably joked about, or ignored, or even celebrated. And it could be the very first warning that something deadly is growing inside you. Let's begin. Let's start with sign number 5. It's the symptom that fooled Mark. It's the symptom that fools thousands of people every single year. And it might be the most overlooked early warning of pancreatic cancer there is. I'm talking about persistent middle back pain. Now I know what you're thinking. Doc, my back hurts all the time. I sit at a desk. I sleep wrong. I lifted something heavy last weekend. And you're probably right. Most back pain is muscular. Most back pain is harmless. But there's a very specific kind of back pain that should make you pause. Here's the science. Your pancreas is roughly 6 inches long, shaped like a flat fish, and tucked deep into the back of your abdomen, pressed right up against the nerves of your spine. When a tumor begins to grow on the body or tail of the pancreas, it doesn't push outward into your stomach, where you'd feel it. It presses backward, right into a nerve bundle called the celiac plexus. The result? A dull gnawing ache, right between your shoulder blades or in the middle of your back. An ache that doesn't go away. An ache that gets worse when you lie down flat. An ache that often feels better when you lean forward or curl up into a ball. That's not muscle strain. That's a tumor pressing on a nerve. A patient of mine, a 58-year-old teacher named Linda, told me she'd been waking up at 3 in the morning for months. Every night. Same time. With this aching pain that just wouldn't quit. Her chiropractor said it was tension. Her doctor said it was stress. By the time she got a CT scan, the tumor had already reached her liver. Here's your actionable fix. If your back pain checks 3 boxes, it's lasted more than 3 weeks, it gets worse at night when you're lying flat and it has no clear cause, do not let it slide. Ask your doctor for an abdominal ultrasound. Not just a back x-ray, an ultrasound, or better still, a CT scan with contrast. It could save your life. Now to sign number 4. And this one is sneakier, because it can feel like something good. Sign number 4 is sudden, unexplained weight loss, paired with a strange loss of appetite. Maybe your clothes start feeling looser. Maybe you've dropped 10 pounds without changing a single thing. Maybe, and this is the strangest part, you suddenly cannot stand the smell of coffee, or red meat, or fried food. Foods you used to love now make you feel queasy. Why does this happen? The pancreas produces enzymes that help you digest fats and proteins. When a tumor blocks the tiny duct that carries those enzymes into your intestine, your body literally cannot absorb the fuel it needs. So you lose weight, you lose hunger, and your sense of taste and smell actually start to shift. I had another patient, a 62-year-old man named Robert, who told me the first sign something was wrong wasn't pain. It wasn't a lump. It was that his morning coffee suddenly tasted disgusting to him. 4 months later, he was diagnosed. Your actionable fix? If you've lost more than 5% of your body weight in 6 months without trying, that is a medical red flag. Add a sudden aversion to once loved foods? That doubles the warning. Don't wait. Ask your doctor for blood work that includes liver enzymes and a tumor marker called CA19-9. It's simple, it's fast, and it can catch what scans miss. But none of these signs, none of them, are as terrifying as what's coming next. Sign number 3. The one your toilet is trying to tell you about. Sign number 3. Lower your phone for a moment, because I'm about to ask you something nobody likes to talk about, but it could be the most important question you'll hear all year. When was the last time you actually looked at your stool? Most people don't. Most people flush and move on. But your stool is one of the most powerful diagnostic tools you have. It tells you, every single morning, whether your digestive organs are healthy or whether something is going terribly wrong. And when it comes to pancreatic cancer, your toilet sends one of the earliest and most telling warnings. Here's what to look for. Pale clay-colored stool. Greasy, oily, slick, foul-smelling, far worse than usual. And this is the giveaway. It floats. It refuses to flush down on the first try. It leaves a sheen, almost like an oil slick, on the surface of the water. That, my friend, has a medical name. It's called steatorrhea. Here's the science. Your pancreas produces an enzyme called lipase. Lipase is what breaks down the fat in your food, so your intestines can absorb it. When a tumor blocks the pancreatic duct, the tiny pipe that carries lipase into your gut, that fat goes undigested. It passes straight through your system. And it shows up in your toilet. Pale, because no bile is getting through. Greasy, because the fat is undigested. Floating, because fat is lighter than water. Multiple studies have shown that the majority of pancreatic cancer patients, by some estimates more than 70%, develop signs of fat malabsorption well before any other major symptom appears. 7 out of 10. And yet, most patients never mention it to their doctor. Because they're embarrassed, or they don't realize it matters. Your actionable fix? For the next 7 days, take 10 seconds before you flush. Just look. Note the color. Note whether it floats. Note the smell. If you see any of these signs more than twice in a single week, make an appointment. Today. It's not gross. It's not awkward. It's how you save your own life. Now, let's escalate. Because sign number 2 is one of the most classic, most studied, most under-recognized warnings in all of cancer medicine. Sign number 2, painless jaundice, and the itch that comes before it. Yellow skin, yellow eyes, dark tea-colored urine, pale, chalky stools. These are the signs we all recognize. But by the time the yellow appears, the cancer has already been growing inside you for months. The earlier warning? Itching. Deep, relentless, maddening itching, usually on your palms, the soles of your feet, your back, or your shins. An itch that doesn't go away with lotion. An itch that gets worse at night. An itch with no rash, no bug bite, no allergy in sight. Here's why. When a tumor on the head of your pancreas presses against your common bile duct, it blocks the flow of bile from your liver. Bile salts begin to back up into your bloodstream. And those bile salts get deposited in your skin. They drive your nerve endings absolutely crazy. There's actually a teaching every medical student learns in their first year of training. Painless jaundice in an adult over 50 is pancreatic cancer, until proven otherwise. Painless. That's the key word. Gallstones cause jaundice with severe pain. A tumor causes jaundice without pain. The American Cancer Society estimates that pancreatic cancer kills more than 50,000 Americans every single year. That's nearly 140 people every single day. and many of them showed early jaundice or itching that nobody connected to cancer. Your actionable fix? If you notice unexplained itching that lasts more than 2 weeks, especially on your palms or shins, request a full liver function blood panel. If your bilirubin level is elevated, push for imaging immediately. Don't accept it's probably nothing, because there is only one sign number 1 left, and it might be the single most under-recognized cancer warning in all of modern medicine. It has nothing to do with pain, nothing to do with weight, nothing to do with the color of your skin. It's a diagnosis your own doctor may have already given you without ever connecting it to cancer. And what I'm about to tell you next will change the way you see your own body forever. This is sign number 1. The most under-recognized warning of pancreatic cancer in modern medicine. The sign that leading researchers at the Mayo Clinic have spent over a decade trying to bring to the attention of family doctors all over the world. Are you ready? Sign number 1 is sudden new onset diabetes in an adult over the age of 50 with no clear risk factors. I'll say that again, because I want it to land. If you are over 50, if you've recently been told you have type 2 diabetes, and you're not overweight, you don't have a family history, you eat reasonably well, you don't sit on the couch all day, then your pancreas may not be failing because of your lifestyle. It may be failing because of a tumor. I need you to sit with that for a moment, because most people and most doctors see diabetes as a lifestyle disease. Too much sugar, too little exercise, a few extra pounds, and usually that's true. But there is a specific, dangerous subtype of diabetes that medicine is only just beginning to fully recognize. It's called type 3C or pancreatogenic diabetes, and it doesn't come from your habits. It comes from your pancreas being attacked from the inside. Here's the science. A pancreatic tumor doesn't just block digestive ducts. It actually secretes chemical signals, substances like adrenomedullin and inflammatory proteins, that interfere with the insulin-producing cells right next door. These signals cause your body to become resistant to its own insulin. Your blood sugar rises, the tumor keeps growing, and by the time the diabetes is finally diagnosed, the cancer has already been there. Sometimes for 2 years, sometimes for 3. Research has shown that adults over the age of 50 who develop new diabetes are 6 to 8 times more likely to harbor pancreatic cancer than the general population. 6 to 8 times. In one major Mayo Clinic study, nearly 1% of patients newly diagnosed with diabetes after 50 were found to have pancreatic cancer within 3 years of that diagnosis. 1% doesn't sound like much, until you realize that's tens of thousands of people, every single year, walking out of their doctor's office with a prescription for metformin and a tumor they don't know about. Let me tell you about a patient who broke my heart. His name was David, 61 years old, a retired firefighter. Lean, strong. He ran 4 miles every morning. He'd never been overweight a day in his life. He came to his family doctor for a routine physical. His blood sugar came back high. His A1C was 7.2, diabetes. His doctor said, "It happens with age." Prescribed metformin. Sent him home. 8 months later, David started losing weight. Then his middle back started aching. Then his skin turned yellow. By the time we scanned his abdomen, the cancer had spread to his liver, his stomach, his lungs. He died 11 months later. If David's first doctor had ordered just one abdominal CT scan the day that diabetes diagnosis came out of nowhere, David might still be alive today, coaching his grandson's soccer team, walking his daughter down the aisle. Here is your clear, life-changing behavior change. If you, or anyone you love, has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes after the age of 50, and you do not have the classic risk factors, overweight, family history, sedentary lifestyle, please, do not accept it as just diabetes. Demand an abdominal imaging scan. Demand a CA19-9 blood test. Demand a referral to a gastroenterologist. Your doctor may say it's unnecessary. They may say you're being paranoid. You are not being paranoid. You are being smart. Because new onset diabetes after 50 is one of the only chances modern medicine has to catch this cancer early. And early, as I told you at the very start of this video, means an 80% survival rate. David didn't know. Now you do. So, what do you do with this information? What's the action plan? How do you turn fear into power and walk away from this video stronger, smarter, and prepared? That's exactly what we're going to cover next. Take a deep breath. I know, that was a lot. Heavy information, hard truths. Some of you may be feeling scared right now. Some of you may be replaying the last few months in your head, wondering if you felt any of these symptoms yourself. I want to tell you something important. Knowledge is not a curse. Knowledge is a weapon. What you just learned in the last few minutes, most people will never learn. Most people will never look at their stool. Most people will brush off back pain. Most people will accept a diabetes diagnosis without question. But you? You won't. You now know more about the silent warnings of pancreatic cancer than 95% of the population. Let that sink in. Let me bring it all together. Sign number 5. Persistent middle back pain. The dull gnawing kind. The kind that gets worse when you lie flat, and better when you lean forward. Sign number 4. Sudden unexplained weight loss. Paired with a strange new aversion to foods you used to love. Coffee. Red meat. Anything fatty? Sign number 3. Pale, greasy, floating stools. The toilet warning. Look before you flush. Sign number 2. Painless jaundice and relentless itching. Yellow skin, dark urine, and that maddening itch on your palms and shins that no lotion can soothe. And sign number 1. Sudden, new-onset diabetes after the age of 50, with no clear lifestyle cause. The most under-recognized cancer warning in all of modern medicine. If you have any one of these, pay attention. If you have 2 or more, do not wait. Make an appointment this week. Demand the right tests. Be your own advocate. Here is the hope I promised you at the very beginning. Pancreatic cancer is deadly. Yes, but it is not invincible. Caught in stage 1, the 5-year survival rate jumps from under 10% to over 80%. We have better imaging technology than ever before. We have new chemotherapies that didn't exist 5 years ago. We have surgical procedures, targeted therapies, and clinical trials that are changing this game every single month. The single biggest predictor of survival is early detection. And early detection starts with what you just learned tonight. Now, here is exactly what I need you to do. If this video could potentially save the life of someone you love, a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a friend, send it to them today. Not next week. Not when you remember. Today. A 2-minute share could change everything. Hit that subscribe button. Because I release a new video like this every single week, breaking down the silent warning signs of the diseases that take far too many lives, far too soon. I want you to have this information. I want your family to have this information. Smash that like button. It tells YouTube to push this video to more people who need to see it. People like David. People like Mark. People like Linda. Real human beings with real families who deserve a fighting chance. And finally, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 5 signs surprised you the most. Was it the back pain? The stool changes? The itching? Or was it the diabetes connection at number 1? And if you have ever had a family member affected by pancreatic cancer, share their name in the comments. Share their story, their memory. Let's build a community below this video that lifts each other up, that shares information, that refuses to let this disease win in silence. Because here's the truth, the pancreas is silent. But you don't have to be. You have the knowledge now. You have the warning signs. You have the action plan. Use them. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people you love. And I'll see you in the next video.